Something about your hair has been bothering you. You can't quite name it. But every time you catch a reflection, there it is. That feeling. And here's what nobody says out loud. The wrong cut doesn't just look off. It pulls your face down. It flattens your cheekbones. It adds 4, 5, sometimes 6 years to how you read in photographs and in person. Every single day. This video covers 5 specific styles most women over 60 are still wearing right now. And the modern replacements that immediately lift the face, open the eyes, and restore what time has been quietly taking. Part 3 has the swap that surprises people the most. They always say they didn't see it coming. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The blunt shoulder length bob. You've been loyal to this cut. Maybe for years. Maybe longer. And I get it, it felt safe. It felt polished. There was a time it probably looked great on you. But here's the thing about the blunt shoulder length bob after 60. It doesn't just stop working. It actively starts working against you. And most women never connect the two. This is the retention moment. That cut is one of the single biggest reasons women come into their 60s looking heavier and more tired than they actually feel. Not because of their face. Because of the line. A blunt hemline at shoulder length creates a horizontal cut across the widest part of your visual field. Your eye follows that line outward. And when your eye goes outward, your face goes downward. Your jaw reads wider. Your cheekbones read lower. The whole structure of your face, those beautiful bones you've always had, gets flattened by one straight line of hair. The reason this mistake is so hard to spot on yourself, and I want you to really sit with this, is that you're always looking at your face. You're not looking at the line the cut creates around your face. Your stylist sees the whole picture. You see your eyes, your skin, your expression. The cut is operating invisibly, and that's exactly why it keeps getting booked. The fix is specific, and it works immediately. You're replacing the blunt hemline with long layers that begin just below the chin and fall softly past the collarbone. Not one length. Graduated. The longest pieces frame the front of your face. The layers move when you move. And that movement, that soft vertical flow, draws the eye upward and inward rather than outward and down. Yes. That's simple. Ask your stylist for this exactly. I want long graduated layers starting just below the jawline, with the shortest layer framing my face and the longest falling 2 inches below my collarbone. I want visible movement, not a single blunt hemline anywhere. That sentence, word for word, will get you what you need. For maintenance, book a trim every 8 to 10 weeks specifically to preserve the layer shape. The moment those layers grow out even slightly, the hemline starts to straighten and you lose the lift. Tell your stylist to take just half an inch off the length and reshape the layers, nothing more. Protecting the shape is everything. What I'm covering next. Most women find it even harder to hear, but it's the one that matters most. Part 2, the overly round pixie cut. Let's talk about the round pixie. The one that sits close to the head, rounded on top, short and uniform on the sides, nothing pulling in any direction. Neat. Contained. Easy to manage. And for so many women over 60, quietly devastating. Here's what that shape is actually doing to your face. Every single morning. A round pixie with no height and no directional movement creates a perfect circle of volume around your skull. And when your hair forms a circle, your face echoes that shape. Roundness at the top reads as roundness throughout. Your cheekbones, which should be the hero of your face after 60, get absorbed into the overall shape rather than standing out from it. You look rounder, fuller, and softer than your actual bone structure warrants. Your features disappear into the cut rather than leading it. Now here's the surprising truth about the round pixie, and this is the moment I need you to lean in. The problem isn't the length. It's the direction. Most women believe they need to grow out their pixie to fix it. They don't. A pixie can be one of the most facelifting cuts a woman over 60 can wear. The shape just has to work vertically instead of horizontally. This one is everything. The swap is a textured pixie with intentional height. You keep the short length. If you love the ease of a pixie, you keep it. But instead of volume sitting low and rounded, you're asking your stylist to build height at the crown. Add texture through the top, and taper the sides closely. That vertical lift draws the eye upward. Your cheekbones emerge. Your eyes look wider. Your jaw looks more defined. It's the same length. Completely different face. Tell your stylist this. I want a textured pixie with crown height. Build volume upward at the top, taper the sides closely, and give me texture through the crown so it doesn't sit flat. I want the eye to go up, not outward. They will know exactly what you mean, and you will see the difference the same day. Maintenance is quick. Every 6 weeks, not 8. Short cuts lose their shape faster than long ones, and the crown height is the first thing to go when the cut grows out. A 6-week schedule keeps the lift exactly where it belongs. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Part 3, the overlayered feathered shag. You know this one. Layers everywhere. Lots of feathering. Lots of movement in every direction. It was everything in the 70s and 80s, and for a lot of women, it's the cut they've been reaching back for without realizing it. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and the cut she had been wearing for 15 years was doing all the wrong things to her face. She kept asking the stylist to just add a little more texture. She didn't know she was making it worse. Here's what overlayering actually does. After 60, hair naturally becomes finer. The individual strands carry less weight, and when you take already fine hair and cut layers into it aggressively, feathered ends, choppy texture, movement in every direction, you end up with something that looks thinner than it is. The layers break the hair into too many small pieces, and small pieces read as sparse. Where you were hoping for movement, you get wisp. And wisp reads as fragility, not youth. The real reason this mistake is so common is the advice itself. Add layers for volume is one of the most repeated pieces of hair guidance in existence, and it is not wrong, but it stops being true the moment the layering becomes excessive. Too many layers on fine hair don't add volume. They subtract it. The hair becomes so divided it has nothing left to hold together. Write this one down. The replacement is a soft 2-layer structure with a strong perimeter. Instead of 5 or 6 layers of feathering, you're asking for 2 clean layers. A longer base that preserves the weight line, and one soft internal layer that adds movement without fragmenting the ends. The perimeter stays solid. The weight stays in the hair. And instead of wisp, you get swing, that clean, full movement that reads as healthy and abundant. Ask for this. I want soft 2-layer structure, 1 base length and 1 internal movement layer. Keep the ends blunt and the perimeter strong. No feathering at the tips. Your stylist will feel the difference as they cut. So will you when you look in the mirror. Maintenance tip. When you book your next trim, ask specifically for a dusting, just the ends, nothing more. Removing half an inch of the tips every 8 weeks keeps the perimeter strong without disturbing the layer structure. Protecting the weight line is what keeps the fullness alive between cuts. The next mistake is the one I see most often, and the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Part 4. The tight perm or overly curled set. There's a style that has been coded as appropriate for older women for so long that most people don't even question it anymore. The tight perm. The carefully set curls. The helmet of uniform ringlets sitting close to the head. It was practically a rite of passage for a certain generation, and it is one of the most aging things a woman over 60 can wear. Have you ever wondered why a style with that much volume can somehow make a face look smaller? This is the mechanism. Tight uniform curls create visual density, a solid textured mass that sits around the face rather than framing it. Your face doesn't emerge from that mass. It recedes into it. The eyes read smaller. The cheekbones get hidden. The forehead looks lower. And because the curl pattern is so uniform and controlled, the overall effect reads as stiff, structured, and matronly, which is the opposite of what you're after. And here's the thing that took me a long time to understand about this style. The tight set curl is almost always chosen because the alternative feels too unpolished. Women reach for structure because they want to look put together. That instinct is not wrong. The execution is. The swap isn't a straight style. It's a loose wave. A soft body wave or a large barrel curl. Not tight, not uniform, not structured. Gives you all the polish and none of the density. The waves move. They catch light. They create the impression of volume and health without forming a wall around your face. Your features lead. The hair follows. That's the relationship you want. Tell your stylist, I want to soften the curl pattern, no tight ringlets. I'm looking for a loose body wave, styled with a large barrel. Natural movement, not set structure. If you have a perm currently, ask about a soft wave perm specifically. It uses a larger rod and produces a gentler result that frames rather than encases. Maintenance for this style is about moisture. Soft waves need hydration to hold their shape. A weekly deep conditioning treatment keeps the wave pattern flexible and the hair looking luminous rather than dry. One product. Once a week. That's the upkeep. I didn't expect part 5 to be the one people message me about most. But it always is. Part 5. The center part with flat iron straight hair. This one is going to hit differently, because this is the one that crossed over from the younger generation and got adopted by women over 60 as a modern alternative to the traditional styles. It felt fresh. It felt current. And it is quietly doing more damage than almost anything else on this list. Here's a bold truth. The exact style that makes a 25-year-old look effortlessly cool makes a woman over 60 look. And this is specific, pulled, angular, and severe. The center part is the issue, not the straight hair by itself. The part. After 60, the natural fat pads under your skin begin to shift. The temples get a little more hollow. The mid-face begins to soften. A center part runs a hard line directly down the middle of your face, and that line divides your face symmetrically. And symmetry, after 60, exposes asymmetry. Every small unevenness between the left and right side of your face becomes visible. The flatness of the straight style removes all shadow play and dimension. Your features don't lift. They lie flat. And flat in a bright light reads as tired. And here's the thing about this one. Secretly, this is the easiest fix on this entire list. You don't need a new cut. You don't need a new product. You need one shift that takes under 30 seconds. Move the part. A side part, specifically a deep side part sitting just above the arch of your eyebrow, does something almost architectural to the face. It creates asymmetry that the eye reads as movement and dimension. The weight of the hair on one side gently frames the cheekbone on that side, drawing the eye upward. The lighter side opens the face near the temple, creating lift. And that slight imbalance between the two sides? It's the visual equivalent of contouring. Your face reads as more sculpted, more dimensional, and genuinely more youthful without a single product touching your skin. If you've been flat ironing as well, here's the swap. Instead of completely straight, ask for a soft blow dry with a slight bend at the ends. Not a wave. Not a curl. Just a gentle turn at the last 2 inches of the hair. That tiny movement at the ends breaks the severity of the straight line and adds just enough dimension to catch light. Combined with the side part, your entire face changes, and your bone structure finally gets the attention it deserves. Maintenance is nothing. A good round brush at the root while blow drying keeps the lift at the part. A small amount of root lifting spray if your hair is very fine. That's it. 30 seconds. Every morning. There's one thing about the way this part interacts with your natural face shape that nobody in this space talks about enough. We'll get into that in the next one. You just learned 5 specific reasons your hair may have been quietly aging you, and 5 exact replacements that work with your bone structure instead of against it. Not vague advice. Named styles. Named fixes. Stylist-ready language you can use the same week. Boom. Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now it finally gets to show. Tell me in the comments. Which of these 5 styles were you wearing without realizing what it was doing? I want to know. And so does everyone else watching. Next time, we're getting into the one thing about your hair color that may be adding even more years than the cut itself. And it's almost never what women expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.